Well, welcome back, nerds. What's up? It's me. I'm with DocHoliday. I mean, Jesus Christ. I am DocHoliday. I'm with JIRAIYA. What's going on, bro? What are you doing? You guys watching some StarCraft? Nerd. I'm over here getting sick gains, dude, by subscribing to the Patreon. You know what I mean, bro? And by that I mean you get replay packs, so you can actually get better at the game. Unlike me, who's perma-stuck in C. I'm not even stuck in C, dude. I'm like perma-stuck in B right now. I don't know what happened. I was like feeling so hot. I was like in B. I was like B rank, and like when the game came out, and then everyone who was bad left, and so we're only left with a bunch of nerds who play the game every day, and so I'm just getting my teeth kicked in every day on ladder, man. It's terrible.
Tell me about it. As a 2v2 player, playing one-on-one ladder, it's like, I'm just a glutton for punishment. Continuing to take stabs at the one-on-one ladder. It's real rough out in the streets here.
Dude, 2v2 seems rough, man. It's like every game you're getting slapped by zealots at like the first possible moment, or someone rolls random plus Zerg and you're getting double 9-pooled and you just lose on one side of the map.
Yeah,
2v2 sounds brutal.
I mean, at least with 2 versus 2, and this is probably the hardcore truth about it. At least I have someone to blame if I do lose. Whereas in 1 versus 1, if I'm losing a ladder game, it's only on me. I can't blame anything. You know, I try to blame lag and whatnot, but they're going through the lag problems as well. So I think that's why I like 2 versus 2. It's the accountability. I could always just put all onus on my ally.
Bro. That's why I hate team games, man. No matter what game I play, like it's like if it's League or like Overwatch or Valorant or CS or anything, if I'm playing a game with a team, I'm 100% mad 100% of the time, because if we're losing, it's because I'm on a team with 4 idiots that don't know how to play the game. Don't worry about it. It's not me. It's never me. I'm the like diamond in the rough, dude. I'm the secret challenger that's stuck in silver because he never gets good teammates.
Yeah. When Zero and BSL held the 2 vs 2 tournament, there was a lot of hype for that, for the 2 vs 2 community. So very much looking forward to trying to get that back up and running again. But yeah, I know a lot of 2 vs 2ers are also in the chat right now watching 1 vs 1, being that BSL is the premier foreign league where you can see high-level matches. So just happy to represent the 2 vs 2ers, and at the same time, have front row seats in the one-on-one scene.
All right, well, we're gonna be heading on into Mihu versus Zhanhun. This is going to be, of course, another super high-level Chinese matchup. Both these guys are like the tippy top of the Chinese scene. So, looking forward to seeing this one. Heading on over to Butter now. Let's do it.
Let's go!
Alrighty, in the top right-hand corner, spawning as the red Protoss, we have aka Zhanhun.
On the bottom right side, we have Mihu, Terran in the blue color, blue chip Terran. Before the Chinese have joined BSL, the BSL scene, I always had like my rankings of like blue chip Terrans. But it's almost like all the Chinese players are blue chip players, so it's like that portfolio of blue chip players has increased dramatically since the Chinese players have been included. But this guy, from what I've seen, Mihu, absolute just juggernaut. He's almost like a machine with how he macros and his timings. He's like a mixture of Mind Terran, the pro player from Korea, who's like very tactical and timing. And also like the strength of Flash when it comes to like macro. I'm not comparing him to that level, but it almost reminds me of that level of Terran. Very impressive what I've seen.
The thing that scares me about Mihu is Mihu doesn't seem to really have a lot of holes in his play. It's not like he has like
Right.
something he's really good at and something he's really bad at. He's just really good at everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just super well-rounded. You know, any situation that he's in, he seems to know what to do as a response, which, you know, ooh, gets the probe. That's a nice pick-off there. Nice little mental boost, denying the scout and killing off the probe. I think that's a pretty big deal, right? In a one-on-one game like this, on a one-on-one map like this on Butter, denying the scout and picking it off. Gas being made here, stolen from Mihu, from Zhanhun. So I guess we'll see a CC follow-up. Is that primarily what we would see as a follow-up here?
I wasn't listening to you because I was too busy looking at the other screen, and I have to say, this is completely diverted from your very StarCraft-oriented thought, but in their pictures, Zhanhun and Mihu are wearing the same jacket, and it's bugging me. Are they on the same team, or is it the same jacket, and they just took turns wearing it for their pictures?
Sounds like they didn't get a memo for picture day.
I know, seriously, they just like both showed up. Mihu's like, you betch. You knew I was gonna wear this. John was just getting in his head, man.
Are they related?
That'd be so funny.
Reminds me of like a Christmas photo. You know how like your parents would dress you up in like the same color scheme and whatnot. Maybe they're like related.
When you said, are they related, I thought, oh man, maybe they're so poor that they can only afford one jacket, so they have to share it.
Dude, that's not where I was going with that.
It's like Christmas. They each get half of a jacket, they put it together.
This is why I love you, Doc, because you know, the creativity and the imagination. I mean, we were totally not on the same page there, but somehow it still works.
I don't think you can call this creativity. It's like borderline mental illness, okay? Oh my god.
Alright, well, getting back to this game, it is going to be a CC follow-up from Mihu. He's going to plant his factory now. Meanwhile, Zhanhun is going to plant his Nexus now, so definitely late Nexus timing from Zhanhun. But he does have the gas built up to, you know, maybe tech up to Robo as a follow-up, just sticking with one gas here. I mean, one gate.
We are going a little spooky mode, as when you get gas stolen, it does get a little freaky, where there's kind of an opportunity where something can happen to you, like the potential for a bust or getting a tank snipe or something like that. Very curious what that probe is doing out on the map. Wondering if that's going to head down for like a tech proxy once it scouts the natural expansion, see if it's there, or something interesting like that. Because not really the type of matchup where you'd see a proxy pylon or anything like that. Maybe he's just waiting to confirm, and then he's gonna go for a really nice fast third Nexus as well. So sounds like the poke game has begun. Yeah. And with a really conservative infrastructure, there it is. Yeah, nice fast third Nexus.
You got to think that third Nexus could have been a little bit quicker had he cut gas a little bit sooner, but I guess it's okay. He is cutting one probe off of gas, so he's mining 2 on gas, I believe, right now for Zhanhun. But yeah, I mean, triple Nexus, I think that's a pretty standard. Oh, he's got three on gas now. It'll be interesting to see what kind of build Mihu is going. He's going for the double add-on here, which could suggest maybe a very powerful 4-tank kind of move out. As the 4 tanks move out with Marines and Vulture upgrades being done, it seems to be pretty potent against Protoss in this matchup. I could be wrong about that because there's so much goon pressure here. He might be forced to siege. I guess that's siege first, I would imagine. Yeah, it's got to be siege. Okay. Immediately planting the turret doesn't know what Zhanhun is doing right now. He's in the dark. The last SCV that was out on the map was killed long ago. So right now, Mihu is just kind of blindly preparing for whatever techetry that Zhanhun is going for.
Alrighty, so yeah, I think we're gonna see that push come up here in just a minute with a couple more tanks popping out of these factories here. We do have the spider mines getting researched and everything. And this can be kind of scary, but we don't have 4 tanks. We got 3 right now.
You know, he might just be waiting for the vulture upgrades just to run out with vultures and not necessarily commit to moving the tanks out with it. I've seen Terrans do that just to kind of get a sense of, you know, what's out there on the map. Yeah, that's probably what he's going to go for, because it's kind of risky to just unsiege your tanks here, I would imagine. Not knowing exactly what kind of follow-up is coming from Zhanhun, but Mihu going to go for that patented macro factories at this 2-base timing. I wonder if he's going to add 2 more factories to get up to 6. I've seen him do that in the past, and it's super, super powerful, these 2-base builds that he has that a lot of Protoss struggle with.
These
vultures.
These bikers just run right past the whole Protoss army. I don't even know. We don't see any troop movement on the map. I don't even know if this is spotted. Okay. Oh, barely. Oh. I mean,
wow, did he not
is there
see
anything at the 3rd? Okay,
oh,
it is blocked off. Okay.
Yeah.
That's like worried that these are just going to walk right through here. Couple mines, though, going to push him back.
Oh, that one's going to reach. Wow.
Oh, wow.
Masterful done.
And this is crazy. Tons of probe damage going to be done here now. And then good luck getting up here for a little bit. Wow, that was big.
Yeah.
Come on, mines. Let's do it. We gotta keep the only Terran alive for a little bit at least.
Well, if there's any Terran that's gonna be alive in this tournament still, it's gonna be Mihu, because that was very impressive. The fact that that goon was in the reach of that mine to present that opening for the vultures to get in, and subsequent to that, he also targeted masterfully like 2 vaults onto each probe. So it wasn't like 6 vaults killing 1 probe at a time. It was like multi vaults killing multi probes at the same time to really maximize the number of probes they could kill with that timing. So probably a detrimental hit that's only going to make this mid-game push from Mihu that much stronger. I don't know if that was a CC at the top there. It could have been a CC from Mihu. Maybe he's looking to get this into more of a mid-game situation and sort of progress his, compound his lead. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, Mihu at this stage of the game, 91 food or supply against 103. That's pretty tight, I would say, in a PvT where generally Protoss is a little bit beefier at this stage of the game, but especially with 3 Nexuses. But
yeah, there's so many tanks out here. I don't know how. Like, I understand the idea here, right? Like, he's trying to keep the Terran contained on 2 bases for a little while he takes his...
Dude, you see that mine trap? There's no observer over there. If those goons go up that ramp...
I feel like we've been watching Terra. The mines have been insane. He even had that last mine at the very end with that early Vulture harass that got a kill on the Dragoon.
Yeah.
Alright, 3rd gonna be secured now. No way this tiny group of units gonna stop this giant Terran army from moving up there. Look at that. That's crazy. Mihu already caught up on supply. Oh, never mind, I lied. All the gateways got queued.
No, but this is, I mean, 126 to 120. It was 114 just a second ago.
Not much of a lead.
Yeah, oh, that landed. That landed. That didn't land, but that landed.
Oh my god.
Oh, those are heavily bruised goons.
They were just out on patrol. Now they all have, like 2 of them are coming back with 1 leg. I mean, they're just going out for a jog and you like step on a nail. That's what those Dragoons just like experienced. They're just out, just having a good day, and then just bam, whole day's fucked now.
Yeah, it's gonna yield the same outcome too. Zhanhun probably cussed in Chinese. Mihu is gonna get the scan off into Zhanhun's main. See that Arbiter tech timing there, which is exactly what he wants to do. He scanned it actually right before the Arbiter tribunal completed, so he knows exactly when that Arbiter is gonna be done. So Mihu has a stranglehold on sort of what he's facing at this point. So I look to see him sort of put that time clock in his mind and look to make something happen here.
Dang it. I thought we were going to see a classic terror move where he just suicides a bunch of vultures to get like 50 Dragoons for free with the mines afterwards.
Yeah, I mean, soon he's going to be
movement. I love this proactive minefield laying. Like, he's forcing Zhanhun to go all over the map and clear this all out. This has got to be so annoying.
Yeah, all the good Terrans do that, right? Like they're always out on the map with vultures. They're getting mines out on the map to get that map vision. Yeah, and some of these goons even running into some of these mines. I wonder if this is even worth it.
Wow, this is excellent timing, stopping this this CC from being built here. I think these goons are probably going to pay for it with their lives, but you know, I mean,
I don't know if it's worth it. 7 goons right there, and the CC was not even close to being complete. Like.
Yeah, I think you send the like one goon down there to stop the SCV there or something. But yeah, you're right. That was actually a huge amount of money that just died for free essentially.
Yeah, like that's definitely something that Mihu's gonna make a mental note. Like, okay, that's 7 goons that is no longer in his army, and I'm almost maxed here. Let's check out the upgrades. 2-1. Probably could go pretty soon at this point, right? Like 182.
Yeah, this is wild. I've never seen a Terran stay so close with a Protoss player's supply count in a game that has essentially been kind of a nothing burger. Like, not to say that there haven't been moves made, but nothing like major. No crazy big committed timing pushes or anything has happened so far.
Right.
Is this all just the result of getting all those probes at the beginning of this game? Like, I don't understand how Mihu is able to keep up this bet.
Oh my god, the Zealots just melt. At this 2-1 timing, even with the high ground advantage, which I guess in that ramp is not exactly a high ground, probably a high ground advantage, but yeah, I mean, literally just like fly into windshield kind of moment there.
Wow. Second high ground now coming into play. Pretty big factor here. The vulture count is very low, so the Zealots actually getting on top of the tanks. It's going to make a pretty big difference here. So that was actually, all things considered, a much more efficient trade than it should have been. But even still, look at the supply, dude. Mihu's now ahead of the Protoss player's supply. Zhanhun has got to be in a very scary state of mind right now, because you never want to be behind a Terran. The whole point is that you have to keep throwing away armies against Terran and slowly chip away at their supply. If you're behind, how do you ever win a fight?
Yeah, and to make matters worse, I saw EMP being upgraded here, so that Arbiter that Zhanhun's been waiting for could potentially get EMP'd, because right now it does have energy for stasis if you went that route. Not quite enough for a recall, but Vessel going to be in position here. See if he gets the EMP off. Gets the EMP off. A lot of Zealots, though.
The vulture count is really low. Oh my gosh, the tank's kind of working against themselves here. This is a huge turnaround as far as the armies go here. Wow. What an engagement.
Yeah, that's probably the best fight Zhanhun probably could have ever had in that situation there. But you know, right now Mihu's firing on all cylinders here, and still, even with the lower food count or supply, he's definitely ahead in this spot. The tank count got resetted a little bit, but he has so many tanks just sitting in his third anyways. He's going to be able to pull those in, and now this subsequent follow-up with just a handful of units is going to be enough to kind of thwart off the Protoss and probably just continue to put major focus. Yeah, he's not even pulling his entire army. You know, he's trading with like a handful of units, which I guess that, you know, sitting on 4 bases you can do.
Yeah, I mean, he's even got a 5th base in the left going down right now. 5 base Terran? I don't think anyone ever wants to fight that.
Right.
That's essentially unlimited Terran.
Yeah. And the handful of units that he's sending, they're not even dying.
Yeah,
that's like
what the heck just happened? Like the whole Pulse army just died. What
I
happened?
don't want to hear Terran players complain in the chat. Seriously, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. 2-1 is like unbeatable at times, I feel, as a Protoss player. And I'm not gonna even go there with Zerg, but yeah, I mean, Mihu is a good example of the type of Terran you want to play to really take advantage of the advantages that Terran has, and that's superior upgrade and macro. You know, this is his money is never more than 500.
Oh,
he's sitting on 5 bases.
Siege is a little slow here though. This might get taken out.
Yeah, it does look buggy.
Perhaps this is getting strange. Okay, guys. Well, we are currently investigating the replay as it seems that main army not doing anything about the tanks seemed a little bit strange. So we're investigating currently. But yeah, I mean, it is funny. So every time I talk to G5, he always complains because like there's like the quote unquote rock paper scissors in the matchup, right? Like Protoss has it hard against Zerg. Zerg has it really hard against Terran, and supposedly Terran has it hard against Protoss. But do they really though? Because all I see is Protoss is dying to 3 base Terran over and over and over again as soon as they get to attack.
Yeah, man. I mean, when I mess around on ladder playing Protoss against Terran, it's like you know, you can't play the matchup, and I could be wrong about this, but you can't go head to head with strong upgraded mech units. You just can't go head to head. You got to counter. You got to do something. You got to be a little bit creative. Which, as Protoss players, it's not always easy to be creative. But you know, finesse with like speed shuttle, recalls, or backstabs, things like that, versus just having to attack armies head on. That style just doesn't tend to work with the current meta, as Terran players have really learned with the double armory timing.
Yeah, I certainly think that Terran or that Protoss really has to work for all these wins. It's not kind of like the if we're gonna talk about like auto wins, it's not like the auto win that TVZ is. You know what I mean? The completely skillless, absolutely no talent needed matchup. You know what I mean? So like. But yeah, no, seriously though, in all seriousness, Terran, like when Terran is played the way that Mihu does, it looks, I don't want to say easy, but it doesn't look easy for Protoss at all. Like it looks like you're just gonna get hit by an inevitable gigantic push, and no matter how aggressive you were the entire time, there's almost nothing you could have done to begin with.
Yeah,
it's always so rough.
Yeah, he's just such a well-rounded player, and it looks like from the replay capture that Zero just did, and it looks like the game is ready to start soon. I'm gonna eat my words. Those trades that happened, it was actually glitched, and the handful it takes and the vultures actually.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like they didn't vote as well as we thought. But yeah, I mean, let's continue here and stop talking about what will happen and check out sort of where we really are in reality. But Mihu's still in a good spot.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious to see what happened with these tanks. the 4 tanks that could. Okay, well, immediately a bunch of different crap is happening. So
yeah, like the middle group, that middle group died. So this is like
so much more. Yeah, way different here. Okay, so now the 4 tanks that could are now the 5 tanks that could, but now they're being attacked by an entire army versus like 4 units.
That makes more sense. That makes more sense. Okay.
But in the meantime, as nice of a victory as this is, you see this giant blue army coming down now here from Mihu once again, and he's coming from that high ground. Good luck aggressing up this hill. Oh my gosh, there's so little Protoss here. Look at this.
Yeah.
20 supply lead for the Terran player.
You know what this feels like to me? This feels like a TVZ, where generally Terran is trading their bio against Zerg, and then they can lose their army, and then they'll have like a full army behind to follow up. Like I've never seen it like this, where Terran is doing it with mech against Protoss, where he's literally just trading. This is insane. This is absolute insanity.
Yeah, these Terran armies are coming out here, and they're just bullying the entire Protoss main army.
It's just the tip. It's just the tip. It's not even like the full wrath.
The full girth.
It's not the full girth. You know, he's only putting in the tip, and
we're not even at the shaft yet, boys.
Like,
seriously though, it's like it's like part of the army, and it's just annihilating everything. We have bases going down. Here comes reinforcements for this high ground pod now. It's 4 goons and like 4 zealots. Good luck, Protoss. Good luck. Go home. How are you gonna win? The Tay is too soggy, man.
Yeah, and Zhanhun, you know, +2 upgrade with the +1 armor. I mean, it's not horrible. It's better than nothing. That +2 I know is a big deal against Terran. But Mihu's sitting on 2-3 upgrades right now. Like, is he gonna lose his tank in this engagement? I wonder. Is he gonna lose his tank?
He's got so many vultures out here. It's like good luck to any of the units trying to get on that back line. And here comes some more reinforcing units too.
Yeah.
This is what makes Mihu so scary. The one point in the game that you can really point to is, of course, that vulture run by, right? Like, it didn't get seen for a really long time. There was only 1 goon ready to kind of deal with that, and maybe that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But I feel like there was nothing that Zhanhun could have really done this game, because Mihu was so clinical about everything. Even if he hadn't gotten those probes, do you think it would have made that big of a difference? I mean, I certainly don't feel that way.
No, I totally agree. I mean, in the round of 8, you can't make mistakes, and in the uppest or upper echelon of the highest level players in the foreigner scene, even the smallest mistake, you know, the opponent's going to take advantage of it, and that's exactly what Mihu did this game. He understood he had a big lead. Rather than doing a riskier sort of 2-base timing, he planted that 3rd CC, extended the game, and compounded his lead, and now he's in a position where really, you know, there's nothing he can do to lose. And yeah, I mean, Mihu, how do you beat this guy? You got to play perfect. You really got to play perfect.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think it's funny too that you mentioned like the TVZ dynamic. I almost feel in this case that like this is more like a ZVP. And because like the number of mech units that come out, it's like we're watching like 7-hatch Hydra. Like it's just a bazillion mech units. You don't see, and every time an army dies, like a whole army dies, and then it's like 12 more tanks, 14 more tanks. It's like, where do these tanks come from? Insane. Yeah. What a game by Mihu.
GG.
Dude, Mihu crushed Zhanhun so hard that he broke the replay. That's what happened. StarCraft was like, I don't want to see any more of this. We need a break. This is too upsetting. Oh my god. Did you see how he lost that army at the natural expansion? And then his final push was like 14, 16 tanks. It was just so many mech units. I've never seen that many mech units be produced that quickly.
Yeah, he's like I said, man, the guy's a machine. The guy is a machine.
Oh my god. Yeah, I don't know. He's just so intimidating to play against. What's crazy to me though is that Mihu still loses. You know, we still see people take games off of him. We still see people beat him in series. He doesn't always win. You know, he's not like sitting atop the BSL looking down upon the rest of the scene. There's players that are good enough in this tournament right now, in this bracket that we're going to see play today, that can crush this guy in a good game. Like, so, I mean, it just, as indomitable as he looks and as flawless as his play appears in like games like this, it's like, he's gonna lose a game today. I'm telling you, man.
You know, I kind of have a meme about this in the BSL chat. When I see a player play the way that Mihu just demonstrated, I usually would say this X player is ready for Dewalt. Well, if Mihu continues to play like this, I'm gonna change that saying to X player is ready for Mihu, because that was a dominating performance. And yeah, I mean, he looks ready for Dewalt.
Yeah, dude. Dude, Dewalt versus Mihu would be like watching two brick walls have a fist fight. Like,
yeah. Something's got to give. Something's got to give. I see the graphic here now.
Yeah, see, it's the same jacket, dude. I told you.
I wonder if they were like playing on the same team or something. Like that reminds me of like an in-house team or some sort of league.
Alrighty, well, we're gonna be heading on into the next game. It's gonna be on Sylphid. And I have to say, a little worried for Zhanhun going into this one.
Yeah, you got to think the mental edge is completely going to be on Mihu's side. I mean, he's got to feel very confident going into this game. I don't know exactly how the stats play out TVP on Sylphid. I do think it's a little bit better for Protoss. Could be wrong, because that third base is tricky to defend for Terran. But we did see Sziky kind of, in the last series play very, very dominant in the first game, and then for XiaoShuai to come back. So we'll see here. This is really going to test their mental fortitude, and we'll need to see if how Zhanhun's gonna react and respond to just the solidness of Mihu.
Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and hop on in. Here we go. Alrighty, well, in the 12 o'clock position as the Blue Terran, we do have Mihu as the Blue Terran.
Alright, in the 5 o'clock position, we have Zhanhun, Protoss in the red.
It is funny that you bring it up. Yeah, I mean, we could have a situation where game number 1, we're like, wow, can Mihu lose? And then the next 2 games, like, oh yeah, he can definitely lose. So we could see it turn around. I mean, Zhanhun is very strong. So, but I do have to mention though, you're right. I feel like Sylphid is definitely a map that favors the race that is out expanding the other race. So ZVP, we're talking like Zerg is going to be in a better position there because they're trying to take over. Like, it's a 3-player map, so whenever you're trying to, you can't like split the map down the center and do a 50-50. It's usually going to be in the favor of the race that's trying to take more bases.
Yeah. I as a 2 vs 2 player, I've probably played Sylphid a decent amount of time. Like it's up there in the maps that I would play in the ladder. And I was watching an Artosis video the other day, and he ranked Sylphid as being like a above average map, I believe, or maybe even a really good map. I tend to agree with that, being a Zerg player. But I feel like there's probably a lot of balance in this map, which makes it favorable for everyone to play, where the percentages are not so out of whack. Gas Tail here from Zhanhun, which is going to be a repeat of what he did last game. So we'll have to see sort of how Zhanhun responds here. I mean, you got to play perfect against Mihu. That's the bottom line. I think there were a couple of things that Zhanhun could have done better last game, like the gas optimization to get the third a little bit quicker. Here he's gonna go gasless and look to maybe put some pressure with Zealots. So this is gonna put Mihu to the test. He does have a nice little, I don't know if this is a Sim 20. Yeah, this probe.
He's forced to repair.
Yeah, whenever I see a probe that does that and snipes an SCV or drone or whatnot, that's a Bonyth probe.
Yeah, it's actually not fair what people can do with these stupid units. Look at this. It's like basically at full HP again. Like this Marine has to come out and shoot it with a gun.
Alright, we're going for the bunker here. Mihu's going to get the scout off onto this. He's going to see what's going on right now. But the bunker should be good to, fade this Zealot, and going to follow this up with the CC. So it's going to be a very delayed tech factory here for Mihu, and Zhanhun's going to follow this up with the gas. Yeah, so this is looking like it's going to get into mid-game pretty comfortably. The question will be what kind of opening Zhanhun's going to do, whether he wants to go for a triple Nexus or maybe some sort of tech like Robo or something like that. And what Terran will do to respond to that. Is it going to be eBay like last game? Is he going to make the turrets like last game? All these things are going to be what factors. Zealots going in here.
I love this move. He saw the Marines on the assimilator here,
right?
So he knew that he could walk past this bunker because at the most it's gonna have like 1 or 2 Marines in it. And now we have Zealots in the main, and this is a lot of pressure to be under. Zealots are super beefy and take a while to kill here. But yeah, oh my god, the micro though. Is Mihu gonna lose a single unit? Oh, okay, never mind. It's gone. Already cursed him. 2. Oh, this is so worth it though. Okay, well, okay, not quite so worth it. I thought he was going to get 2 more Marines, and that would have definitely been worth it.
Yeah, I mean, at the very least, it forced Mihu to make a 5th Marine, because he had 3 in his main and 1 in that bunk, and then he made another one in the barracks. So that's 5 Marines there, which I don't know I don't know who got the better end of that, but to force the 5th Marine has to be good for Zhanhun. But now, both players are going to be on 2 base here. Looks like a Robo. No Robo yet. Two gateway. Core spinning for Zhanhun. It's mining that gas.
Man, I always think it's funny. I feel like regions will discover like the Thorn scene and then come out like in force all of a sudden. Like it was like China discovered us out here. Like how long has it been now since like Mihu and them have been competing? It's been a little while now. But, like I feel like one day like India's got to like come out of the works or something, right? Like some other like secret like Gosu like nation or area that just like hasn't competed with us the entire time. They just come out. All of a sudden we have like 8 more players that are like just as good or close to as good as like the Chinese scene or like Dewalt and Bonyth. Like it's gonna be awesome, man. I hope that they're out there still.
Oh yeah, the winner, I'm calling it right now, you heard it here first. BSL 54, the winner of that will be from Nigeria.
Oh my god. The Nigerian Protosses, dude. They're insane.
Of course they gotta be Protoss. A little bit better job this game for Zhanhun, optimizing the gas and getting that triple Nexus situation going down. He's got 2 gateways and covering up the choke position for Mihu, forcing SCVs to come to repair. I like this a lot better than last game for Zhanhun. Picks off the turret as well, really threatening DT. This is what you got to do against a player like Mihu, who's just so damn good. You got to keep him on his toes. You got to force him to spend minerals, like repairing on a bunker, making turrets, remaking turrets, etc. Yeah, Zhanhun looking a lot better this game, I would say, than last game.
I was just gonna say that. Like, this is so much cleaner and so much more clinical the way that he's doing this.
Right.
Maybe the Zealot run by, we don't know. Like, I can't tell you whether or not that was a great idea or not, but like, we're no longer under threat of, or at least I hope there's no threat of the giant run by. Everything just looks super clean here. He's got his, he's dotting his I's, crossing his T's. And I hope we see a much better mid game, because I have to say, dude, it was very discouraging to see how fast Mihu caught up in the supply count last game.
Excuse me. Yeah, I mean, almost like unfair. Now Mihu, I mean, Zhanhun trying to scour the map to see if there's any other vultures out. There is a vulture still there. Mihu did a really good job keeping that one vulture alive. He's gonna have mine upgrade done soon, and at the very least, he's gonna be able to plant. But observers are out.
Oh my god, that's so many tanks.
That is a lot of tanks.
and 3 very bruised Marines. The Vulture's gonna catch up on their little motorbikes here. They're so fast.
You know,
this is a crazy play. I think he's going for the contain. This might just work. There are not very many Dragoons on the map right now.
There aren't, but there's more at the natural.
Oh, the mines!
Yeah, the observer needs to see this. But he knows where he's coming, where the entry point is. I kind of like this for Zhanhun.
This is such a weird, awkward siege up. There's only 2 unsieged tanks here that can shoot at the Dragoons in the back.
Very good sense from Zhanhun, making a Zealot out of like nowhere, just anticipating the need for that Zealot. That Zealot tanked a lot of damage for the Goons to get on top of those tanks. Very nice defender.
He can be hurt. He can bleed.
Well, we're floating 1,000 minerals here. We got a macro behind this, but yeah, he held that off very nice, and the pylon wall is going to restrict these vultures from doing any further harassment. And now you're going to see Arbiter Tribunal go down. Soon 3 gas, Protoss. This is the supply lead that Protoss should have at this stage of the game, or you know, definitely a good spot supply-wise after trading well against that early skirmish. But yeah, I mean, Zhanhun doing a great job against that early push from Mihu, and he's going to look to compound this by taking another base, the mineral-only position at 6 o'clock. Looks like there's a mine or something there at the 6 o'clock position to delay it, but yeah, there's a vulture there. All right. Yeah.
If this was last game, Mihu would already have a 3rd base and like 2 more factories, so things are looking way better for Zhanhun. I mean, that was just such an excellent engagement. What a pickoff! But the probe still gets the Nexus down. Oh my god, that was just like, it was like literally the projectile of the vulture needed to make it to the probe faster to stop that from going down.
Right.
But god, those are the moves that are like just mind blowing. It was like that was like the perfect timing, and he just barely got it to go. But we do have a dropship here. This could make for an interesting play unless it gets scouted out. Units now making all the way to the far right side of the map, trying to avoid detection there.
Yeah, when you collapse down on that first attack from Terran as Protoss, you don't anticipate a dropship being made, especially when you know that they scouted your Arbiter. You expect them to not go drop here, and oh, there's a cannon in the main.
Cannon though, yeah. Good luck. Vulture's gonna make their way around, but there is a Dragoon here to help defend against this.
Nice SimCity. Yeah, there's just so much meat in between the vultures and those probes. Actually,
they make it there though.
The spot in the bottom there.
So that's 4 probes for 3 vultures. Not the worst.
Yeah, Mihu's gonna find a way to kill some probes somehow. Planting down 3 more factories here as he gets his 3rd base up. But I believe that 3rd base is not exactly easy to keep. I would be looking for like a 180 to like 170 kind of supply count for Zhanhun to maybe look to push that 3rd base, maybe with an Arbiter and maybe with a shuttle. I think I've seen that a lot in this matchup on this map. But yeah, I'm really liking Zhanhun's position. He's taking his 5th base now at the 3 o'clock high ground base. Not the 3 o'clock, the 3rd high ground base. Yeah, really liking Zhanhun's spot. This supply lead that he has, this 30 supply lead is more in line with where you want to be at this stage of the game. But Mihu's going to do Mihu things, and that's going to be sending vultures out, planting mines on the map, seeing what's going on, and forcing Protoss to exert some attention towards clearing mines.
Yeah, but I mean, Zhanhun is just like dealing with this so much better, like in every respect. Yeah, there's no minefields out on the map. He's being very proactive about getting them all cleared out. Okay, this is a little unfortunate, but you know, things happen. But I mean, overall, this is what you want to see when you're talking about PvT. You need to be this far ahead in order to have a mid to late game here. So I definitely think that at least we're going in. I wouldn't say that Zhanhun is like super far ahead or anything like that, but at least in this game he's definitely got a really good fight ahead of him as opposed to just getting crushed this time. In the meantime, looks like we have a CC finishing up here at the natural expansion for Zhanhun, so he's going to be looking to take a fourth here. This might be about the time where we start throwing Protoss bodies at the mech here for Terran to try and deny this for a while and get some trades in. I do love how proactive that Mihu has been all over the map, though, and he's got the dropship heading out once again for some more annoying harassment. With the, I don't think there's any units on top of that. What was his third? So if we drop back there, it'll just be probes versus a tank and 2 vultures. So lots of good opportunities to potentially get some damage done, but also Zhanhun being super proactive, looking for all these things. Look at that dropship just hanging out.
This is some insane.
Just barely missed.
Yeah, this multitask from Mihu. I mean, he's sporting a 350 APM, so you got to know that with all this movement on the map, as well as him keeping his mineral intake down for the most part. I'm not exactly right this second, but for the most part, he's been macroing behind this very, very well. Really suggests his multitasking is absolutely elite. Now Mihu knows exactly how many bases Zhanhun's on. He scanned the far right base, the 4th base. So he knows sort of where he's at economically, but with +2 right now, upgrades with +1 armor done as well, Mihu knows that he's got the upgraded advantage. This head-on collision here is not going to bode well for Zhanhun. Yeah. He's going to need higher tech units in play here. High Templars with Storm, Arbiters with Stasis. I mean, this is just the tip of the Protoss army as well.
Yeah. You can't lose these goons for free like this. Like, the Zealots are like one thing. The Zealots, you just kind of throw them in and, you know, you back off once they're gone. But, like, if you start losing your goon count, then you start losing your ability to kill tanks very quickly.
Right. Stasis goes off here, though.
Big stasis, but also very nice defense matrix on that front tank here. But it looks like there's just too much Protoss. And this is like the opposite of what we saw last game, where it's just there's so many units now here for Zhanhun. It makes me think, man, game number 1, really big fluke. Is this going to be the day where it's just the reverse sweep every series? What's going on?
It could potentially be the case now. That those high ground tanks are going to shell down on these units that are trying to pick off these units that are stasis at the moment. But Mihu, being close to his reinforcement line, is going to be able to save these units, I would imagine. There's only Dewalt really left. There are
oh my god, as soon as they unsiege though,
yeah,
the Dragoons get killed. But it looks like these couple of Zealots going to be able to get the tanks, and that's really what you want to do. You got to get that, got to keep that tank count low, so the Terran can't put together a really cohesive push here. Overall, I think that was kind of a wash, though, there.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, maybe a little bit of a misstep for Zhanhun, being that he bled a lot of units there, but he's got the economic lead here. He could replenish his army count. But what's really interesting is that dropship at 9 o'clock, knowing that Protosses tend to want to play more backstab, and as a result, the far bases is where they want to take real estate and start making a ton of gateways. He's denying that with just 1 dropship with a tank and 2 vaults, which I've never seen before. But seeing it play out, it's super smart.
Yeah, I wonder if this is like a play of opportunity, or if this was the intention the entire time with those units. Because, like, originally I thought that they were going to be being dropped here, but then, kind of just set up shop once they saw the probe kind of move down towards the back base, the back main there.
Right.
Either way, though, this base getting seriously threatened now.
Yeah, both players are maxed at this point. +2 on the Protoss units, but we know how that bodes against 2-1. So I would look for multiple arbiters here for Zhanhun, which is the case. Maybe a secondary Stargate, so you can truck more of those out. But yeah, I want to see some high Templars from Zhanhun. I want to see him sort of implement higher tech units that's going to help him soften up this very strongly upgraded mech composition. Because Zealot Dragoon, as nice as they are, at a certain point, they end up, they're not as effective. They're not as effective, and certainly when Terran is maxed out, they're going to have tanks grouped up together, and that's going to present opportunities for High Templars to get nice storms off and really soften up those front tanks.
These have been really cost-effective
Yeah,
out here. They just look at that. They just bruised up all of those zealots. The zealots are kind of like the HP bar for like the Protoss army. Like once all the zealots are gone, then you kind of have to back off. And the fact that he was able to kite those out so well is actually very nicely done. Now, this is kind of like the spooky time for Terran. Once you get on 5 bases, you start becoming really susceptible to things like recalls. We have one coming here in the main right now. Just barely going to recall any units, though. That was definitely not worth it.
I can hear Zero chuckling at that recall. Oh, another attempt.
Oh no, it's all falling apart all of a sudden.
Oh,
that is 2 Arbiters going down for nothing. In the meantime, Zhanhun taking a ton of damage here from the drop in the bottom left here. Just one tank. Oh! Oh, the TT is going to be able to finish that off. That was close. I thought those mines were going to take care of that.
Oh, man. Looks like Zhanhun's just saying F it. Zhanhun kind of slipping here. His army is piecemeal, running into these tanks. This is not what you want to do. You got to keep your composure in these spots.
He was looking so good for so long here, and now we just got naked goons fighting against tanks with D-Matrix in the front here.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Now,
yeah, the problem is all the macro gateways are at his main. He's got no other gateways really outside of that, and 185 to 137. I mean, Terran can just designate a push towards the Protoss main and really just cut production. Zhanhun's got the money to remax, but at what cost? Those remax units are going to come out right at the head of this Terran army. Zhanhun's got to be kicking himself for making that sort of blunder. Even with the 2 recalls failing, it wasn't the end of the world. He can still play from there, but to attack like that just so cavalierly, this is going to be a tough spot for him. He's going to have to maneuver really well and start trading very effectively on the map with the little amount of units he has.
That giant flanking army of Dragoons that he had coming down, just getting like he had apparently no idea that there was just a bazillion mines there. So he couldn't push down into the army, and so he kind of did a 50-50, like here's half of my army and then you can wait for 10 seconds and then my other half of the army's gonna come help you or come fight you. It's like, man, that was so cost inefficient here. Like, he's doing a good job. He's remaxed once again, and as he said, he's added the complexity to his army. Got a lot of those High Templars now. But is it too little too late? I mean, Mihu's going to be able to secure his bases now. I don't know. We'll have to see. The thing is that Mihu is slowly running out of mining. So he does need to secure, I think, one more base, right?
He got that 3 o'clock. That 3 o'clock just came up magically.
Yeah, so I still feel you need to be on 2 mining, right?
He's got the 2. He's got the mineral only and the 3 o'clock mining right now. So,
isn't the mineral only almost out though? Oh no, I'm insane. It's totally fine. Yeah, you're right.
No, but I think you're right. He does need to start taking out some Protoss bases, because right now he's traded effectively against the Protoss army, but he hasn't killed anything yet. And even denying this is a new base that hasn't been mined yet. I like this move from Zhanhun. Just kind of, even though this is a base that's not mining, maybe fall back from here, maybe kill these tanks and fall back, kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there are SCVs and stuff, but it doesn't seem like there's a big victory to be had at this spot.
Yeah.
And I mean, he did get that engineering base, so good on him. But those Dragoons are taking tank fire that entire time, so I'm not sure if that was the play here. But as we were talking about earlier, the 3-player dynamic is really coming into play here, because Mihu is kind of just stuck in the top right-hand corner. The next base that he's gonna have to take is the one that's right next to the rally point here. So either Mihu chokes this off and takes that base, or he eventually just loses out on economy. Because, I mean, look at the map. There's nexuses everywhere.
Right.
There's too many nexuses. You can't even mine from this many nexuses.
Yeah, I almost feel like it was a squandered opportunity for Mihu. Now, Mihu does have the supply lead here, and he's going to decide to push definitively into one location. Looks like he's going to go for the left side. But all the gates are on the right side. So it's almost like all the production is on the right, but all the economy is on the left. If he chooses the left, it's going to cut the economy, but the production is still alive. Yeah, Zhanhun's gonna go for Mihu's economy because the two bases that are mining right now are all on the right side. So Zhanhun going for the economy here. EMP's gonna go off on both arbiters.
Man, this is such a weird looking attack.
Yeah.
Where's all the Protoss? I mean, it looks like there's a pretty big army at the main. It really needs to make its way up to the top left. The whole top left part of the map here is kind of like Zhanhun's like real saving grace for this game right now. He really had that locked down. He can't afford to let Mihu kind of like knock all these bases down and get not too much done. These are Mihu's only mining bases, but Mihu's got the bank and the oh, he doesn't have the supply anymore. What happened?
Well, you know, there were some units there at the 3 o'clock position for Mihu that Zhanhun was able to, because at this point in the game, you know, Mihu, he's got a bank, but he's only running on one base now. And even though Zhanhun is losing bases on the left side of the base of the map, he's still running on 2 bases at the bottom position. He can retake his high ground third. Yeah, I mean, it's tough to say. I mean, with the supply lead of Mihu, you got to give him the edge. But it really depends on how Zhanhun, I think, trades against this Terran army. It looks like he won't be able to kill the last running base from Mihu. But at the very least, he's going to go deny the 11 o'clock base to really keep Mihu on one base mining.
Mihu's whole army is tanks, though. It's
Right.
all tanks. So, I mean, I feel like if Zhanhun can get like a nice like recall onto this big army that's currently melting that bottom left base or something like that, he could get a huge victory here, and it's gonna be super hard to replace these units.
Yeah, he has those zealots that are just going to get right on top of these tanks here. So this is going to be a
Stasis
nice.
and everything as well. This is a huge amount of army to just throw away here for Mihu. But now the mining for both players has been really like halted for quite some time. Look at that zealot. He's just standing under a whole ass building. He's like, nah, you can't land. Sorry.
Oh man, this is it's close. The problem is there's 16 probes. You know, there's only 16 probes. It's pretty insane how 50 probes literally just got obliterated. They were all on the left side. Zhanhun's only mining on one base right now at the 6 o'clock position. He's trying to retake that high third. But even with 16 probes, it's going to be tough for him to catch up in supply, because right now he's behind on supply. You can argue maybe he's got more army because he's only got 16. No, even at 110 against 166, he's not going to have the army either.
That's a little unfortunate. These are like essentially the last Protoss units we're going to see, but I mean, this was quite the inspiring game after game number 1.
Absolutely.
I don't know if he's going to be able to make it happen. Pretty dire straits at this point. We're stasising Goliaths now, and the Goliaths have become essentially a wall in front of the tanks. So
Zhanhun is fighting the best he possibly could, taking out sort of the right flank there.
These engagements are really good, but it's just like it's not gonna be enough because like he can't go up that ramp. He has to kill the tanks. Like if he doesn't kill the tanks, it's all over because he has no mining to replace any of these units.
Right. Right. Yeah.
There's the D matrix.
Defensive.
Yeah, these are the last couple of units coming in here, and man, did he play a great game, but 40 supply to 124. There it is.
GG. Man.
Well, that was way closer than I thought it was going to be. Game number 1 definitely didn't look like it was going to be, much of a series, but Zhanhun coming back here, making it look really good there. What do you think was the moment there? I feel like that giving up that whole left-hand side to shut down one mining base temporarily was really the big mistake that he made there. He was in a great spot. He just had to kind of like to grind it out a little bit more. He got a little anxious, I think, and pulled the trigger trying to stop that mining base on the high ground there for Mihu. I really just kind of shot him in the foot because then, as you said, he had no probes.
Yeah, I think that was the major mistake, right? Like just not trading effectively after the two failed recalls. I think he needed to play a little bit more poised after that. But really, unfortunately, he didn't have the gateways that he needed to have on the left side of the map to at least put up a fight, right? Like the entire left side just folded like a piece of paper, which unfortunately, had he just lost that natural base from the 9 o'clock main, you know, and had some units to sort of repel that attack, or at least buy him some time to do a little bit more on the right side, it could have been a different story. But at that point, he didn't have any gateways on the left side. All of his gateways are on the right. So it really it made it hard for him to sort of create the type of separation that he needed, I think, to potentially make a game from it. You know, like have time to retake nexuses, maybe even defend the left side. But yeah, Zhanhun played like 200% better this game. I think he played really perfect the way that he needed to. You know, you gotta be 100% perfect to play against this guy Mihu, because Mihu, the guy's a machine. I mean, 350 APM steadily throughout the entire game. He's all over the map. Mines, vultures, drops, macro cycles. Like the guy is insane.
Yeah, I mean, and that was a pretty long game. I think it was like 26 or 27 minutes long. 350 APM, man. He's gotta like have his keyboard like submerged in like oil or something like that, so it doesn't melt. Like seriously, bro, he's playing so fast. It's insane. I don't get how these people can do this with their wrists, man. That sounds really painful. But yeah, to your point though, like that. It was really unfortunate because if he had, as you said, like earlier in the cast, like if he had any production at all, like on the left side, it would have been fine because like the first two bases got taken out essentially just by vultures. So I mean, like just a couple of goons there could have slowed that down or stopped the push altogether, and we've seen a completely different game. Mihu might have gotten starved out on the last two bases, not ever been able to take another base.
Right.
But, you know, I mean, Zhanhun just, at least, you know, he can be proud of that performance there. Game number 2 really showed that he definitely deserves to be playing with players of Mihu's caliber. You know, it could have gone a completely different way. Very, I think, very small margins of error made that game, you know, a Mihu victory. So a little unfortunate, but again, great game. And I have to say also, I'm never upset when I see a Terran moving on because they're like the unicorns of the BSL, man. So as long as we can keep them in the, you know, we want to keep them in. So
I'm gonna defer to Doc.
I think we can we'll head to a break here for a little bit here, guys, and we will be back with some games for you coming up after that. But while we are on break, if you guys have the financial ability to, please check out the Patreon and consider becoming a patron and supporting Zero here, because he's the man, dude. He's doing this full time, and he is the one guy who takes care of the BSL. So please, if you guys enjoy BSL games, please consider making a financial contribution, because it really is important to us being able to keep doing this for you guys.